All right, it's recording. Hey everyone. Today is February 10th, 2026. It's 10:20 p.m. right now. So today I had my English class, literary criticism, and for the homework from last week, we had to read chapters 10 through 14, 15, something like that, of Nineveh. I don't know why I said something like that. I knew it was 14. But yeah, we're pretty close to the end. I read chapter 15 today. Um, it didn't have too much. It felt like mostly just kind of a conclusion. And now we're here at chapter 16. Chapter 16 is super short. It's like 5 pages. So I figured I'm just going to read it on screen, talk about my thoughts, and talk about the shit for the essay that I have to do on it in like a week. um, Fucking quick turnaround, huh? But it's doing like a week, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared for it because of some shit I'll get into after I'm done reading. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it. It's the last chapter, chapter 16. There's only 5 pages, I think. It's 190. Yeah, it's 6 pages, 192 to 198. So here we go. Chapter 16, Leaving Nineveh. The Constantia house looks as much as it did before, as if. Fuck. Looks much as it did before, if disheveled. Swimming pool's gone a delicate shade of apple green, and grass has grown tall enough to cover Koch's feet. Same tree is afflicted, those insurance caterpillars making a nuisance of themselves, right on schedule. And once again, Toby and she do their collection routine. The work goes quickly. It's time the crop is meager, one box of caterpillars merely. Even the beasts seem to realize that the returns from Mr. Brand are diminishing. The house is on auction. Hikachi's employers this time are the estate agents. As far as she can gather, Brand had to leave the country in a hurry, pursued by bankruptcy and lawsuits. It's quite notorious now. It's all in the papers. Zintel, who now runs her own PR company, emailed her with conspiratorial glee. Few of the news links. Nobody ever did get paid. There are no gardeners in sight. Property seems deserted. But as they're heading back down to the van, catch in hand, Katja glances back up the slope of the lawn and stops at the sight of a distinctive figure against the sky, sturdy and dressed in buttercup yellow. Mrs. Brand is standing facing away from them. Perhaps she's come to fetch some last possessions or dig up loot buried in the corner of a garden. She seems to be studying the grass at her feet. Is she contemplating the past mistakes, future hopes, or caught in the moment, wondering what's going on under that green surface? Easy to think of the lawn as sterile and controlled, but the pest relocation expert knows that there is a world underneath. Smallest creatures, Katja imagines. Mrs. Brand is but a shadow in their skies, Buck, as vast and inconsequential as a cloud passing. On the way out, Katja doesn't bother to toss any insurance into the bush. She can't imagine that she'll want to come back here. As Katja and Toby and the caterpillars head out onto the highway, she has that feeling that all of them have pulled off a great escape. Where shall we take them then? He asks. Back to the forest? That didn't work so well before. No, I know a better place. They walk in from the beach side. It's a bright day. Winter with its storms is past, and it looks like it's shaping up to be a hot Cape summer after all. Beach full of people, swimming and sunbathing, walking their dogs. Toby's taken his shirt off, revealing a few more hairs on his still unmuscled chest, and is running up and down the surf, looping back all sand crumbed and eager, sorry. Katja carries a small catch box and keeps her eyes on the dunes, trying to spot some landmark. They've been walking for a good half hour, and she's starting to wonder if they've overshot. Sand is monotonous, hard to tell where anything is, hard to imagine the shacks or the acres of housing estates just over the rise. Recession hasn't been good to anyone. A lot of the luxury estates are failing, lying half empty, waiting for people to start buying again. She imagines everything gone, Nineveh erased. She'd rather find a hole in the ground than a waste of empty buildings with not enough life or history in them, even for ghosts. Then she sees the black hump of the shipwreck, half submerged in the high tide, and orients herself. And there, a gap in the bushes, a rudimentary path, and a flash of white, a piece of Nineveh. One step back, one step forward, and you'd miss it. But just here, she can see the topmost corner of its battlements. Tobes, she calls, in here. Put your clothes on. These bushes will murder you. Wetlands are different now. Water's sunk back, leaving slick mud in places. There's new growth over the fire-cleared ground. Forest of blue gum saplings, are shooting up. Soon this whole area will be shoulder high in alien vegetation, ready for the flames again. See any likely trees? Toby answers with a cry. Barefoot has found something sharp. Is it old? He asks, handing her a delicate handle attached to a curved section of china. The broken cup might be from any time at all, any moment in the last 300 years, passed hand to hand, brought here by land or sea. She drops it back in the mud. Nineveh's prow lifts above the bush, shacks out of sight, though she can smell the smoke and wood smoke, sorry. As they come closer, she sees that things have changed here. One, the wall is not all ice white anymore, smudged black and brown as if by fire, plastered cracked in places showing sections of brick. She'd been wrong about the hole in the foundations getting fixed. Whole boardwalk collapsed and someone shoved coils of razor wire to the gap under the building. Back gate is still locked though. Presses her thumb to the pad, but the door refuses to click. Maybe it's Katja who's changed. Through the wall, she can hear new sounds. Child shout, car engine revving and failing. They walk along the wall to where the driveway heads off at an angle towards the road. Toby follows silently. There's a hole knocked in the bricks here, giving access to the main entry. Katja hands the collection box to Toby and ducks through. Half the gate is gone, perhaps taken for scrap metal, and the remaining half is hanging off its hinges. Inside, someone seems to have inhabited the guardhouse. There's colored cloth up in the windows. Outside Unit 1, a group of young men bend over the engine of an old Chevrolet, tormenting it. Children playing soccer in the central space where grass grows patchily. Apartments are also clearly lived in. People lean through the windows, and a line of washing has been suspended between two of the buildings. The place isn't as muddy now. Here and there, people have sunk half bricks and pieces of wood into the muck to step on. Is that a cow? Katja smiles. There she'd been imagining the apartment standing empty, pining for human attention. Swiftly, places change with just a little pressure, water, time, human need. Over on the other side of the courtyard, a woman sees her and raises a hand. When she comes over, Katja recognizes the girl from the side of the road, in a denim skirt and scarlet blouse. Some invisible line of adolescence has been crossed, it seems, since they first met. The girl, more rounded and confident, has the look of a young woman, not a child. Got any tiles? Katja asks. The girl smiles back openly, no anxious glances over her shoulder now. We do car parts now. You need? No, but I'll keep it in mind. Want a dog? I've got a dog here. She looks around vaguely. Behind Katja, Toby is scouting down the venue. What? Oh no. Thanks. Better go anyway. How's the old man? Same, Katja says, same. Talks too much, that one. The girl laughs. Tell him he must come visit us. Tell him Nosisi says hello. Katja smiles. Now the girl has a name. Why? Those Gagas giving you problems again? She shakes her head. No, we haven't seen him at all. It's much better now. I think they've gone forever. Katja wants to say that nothing is certain. Although that is maybe not true for Nosisi, she seems to stand squarely on this ground, sure of her footing. You remember Pascal? Katja says. Is he living here? Nosisi shakes her head, face unreadable. No, I don't know him. And Katja wonders how welcome he was here, man from the DRC. Toby calls. Look. Behind her, he's peering up into the crown of a living palm. Katja glances back, but the girl is already turning away, forgetting them. They like it, says Toby as she approaches. Caterpillars marching straight up the trunk. They watch it for a while, this tiny, triumphal procession, unnoticed by the world. Then she touches his shoulder. Come on, Tobe, let's go home. Okay. Is that thing coming with us? What thing? Force hitting the back of her thighs knocks her to the ground. Struggles to her haunches, enveloped in a fog of... In a fug? What the fuck is a... What is a fug? I'm just going to assume they misspelled fog, but let me make sure this isn't a word. A fug. Warm, smoky atmosphere. So it's just a fog, but for smoke instead of steam? Okay. That's cool. Where was it? Enveloped in a fog of doggy breath, creature's licking at her face, butting at her groin, burying his muzzle in her belly. Claws rake her arms. Soldier? This is a dog from earlier in the book. He's half the weight he was, all ribs. There's a frayed length of rope around his neck. In his eyes, the desperate gleam of a dog pushed past the limit of endurance. Wow, says Toby cautiously, stepping back. Dog stinks. Soldier rolls over on his stomach, shows him his rude and tender another side. Dude, real shit. She parks across the road from her old house and watches as Toby feeds Soldier in the back of the van. 2 extra large cans of Husky and several liters of water served in an old ice cream container. She's gonna have to find a place to wash the animal, too. Sure you don't want to lift home, she asks. Toby shrugs. It's cool. Hey, what's this duvet thing doing in here? What? It's not a duvet. But it is, inarguably. Cream in color, covered in tiny elephants, rumpled and showing unmistakable signs of having been slept in. But Katja doesn't want to discuss that. Oh well, it's getting mud on it. He runs his nails down Soldier's knobby spine. The dog wheezes and arches, ecstatically pleading the duvet. Needing the duvet. Fuck! Coming in? No. He wants you to come in for a cup of tea, he always says. God, please. Across the road, the terrace of old houses still stands, slumped and disreputable. Next to the van looms a shiny, new 4-story apartment block, featuring overpriced studio and 1-bedroom flats. Fills in the old park plot all the way to the pavement. Road feels shadowy and overhung with buildings. Still lopsided. Need to balance it out somehow. Bulldoze the other side of the road, too. Build something to match. Already there's a developer's billboard up outside the old house. Turns out that Katja's landlord, big letting agency, also handles the new building. When it became clear that structural damage had made the old houses unlivable, tenants were offered smaller but flashier apartments across the road. So all the residents, Tasneem's family and the retired couple from the end, scooped out of their shells and poured into the new accommodations across the way. Katja doesn't know exactly where they all stay, though. She looks up at the square windows with their identical silver trim and railings, has no idea which belongs to Tasneem, the old couple, even herself. She's never been inside, because she's not living there. Len is. That's her dad. No doubt stinking the place out with his smokes, dirty pajamas, and the scattered crumbs from his sour meals. Canny old bird, shrewdest beast. He never was going to be eradicated that easily, but relocation, it turns out, he was amenable to. They all decided it was for the best. I don't want him dying on the pavement outside my front door, after all, said Alma. Toby goes round to see him, brings him his tea bags and cigarettes. Len got to keep the greens, too. There's no getting them off him. Wears them often now, washes them seldom. The sleeve was ripped by Soldier, but Len solved that one by simply ripping the arms of the overalls away at the seams, so his stringy biceps are exposed at all times. Also tore off the breast pocket badge. Bloody stupid were his words, and it's not to scale. Now she frowns at Toby. Not letting that old man push you around, are you? Toby just laughs. Granddad and me, we're good. Yeah, well, you just watch out, she tries to soften her tone. How about Tasneem? How's things? He shrugs. We're not going out anymore. She was a bit, strung up, you know. He glances at her confidentially. Stuck up, highly strung. Anyway, your mother liked her. Yep. Well, I'm sorry. Nah, it's good. We're good. He stretches his long arms, fingers interlaced, cracks his knuckles. I'm good, he says, and beams her smile of radiant self-delight. Really, there's no way at all to discomfort this child. And as he waves goodbye, Katja turns the van around and comes back down the street, slowing to eyeball the garage door. She regards it with grim respect, her old, unbowed enemy. If the whole neighborhood collapsed into dust around it, that garage door would still be standing. As if her mind commands it, the door starts to shiver and buckle, and then pops open a few feet at the bottom. Long silence, nothing else gives way. Ragged gray figure ducks out under the lip. Derek, wearing a familiar coat of oily gray tweed that she could swear once belonged to her dad. Strip of fabric wrapped around his right arm, poison green. Boy, Derek, Toby calls from across the road. Derek acknowledges him with a shaky hand. Katja rolls down her window. Derek, what are you doing in there? He squints at her as though she's a million miles away, pondering whether she's worth the effort of crossing the pavement. Then he saunters over, tilts his head up. Speak up, girlie. You know that building's dangerous. It's gonna come down. Doesn't that door drive you crazy anyway? Doesn't even have a handle. Smirks in a superior manner. Drop of oil. It's all it needed. Drop of oil. It's not a bad door. Got a cigarette? Don't smoke. Cash? I'll be needing 6 Rand 35. 6 Rand 35, huh? She wonders what that buys. A very small coffee at McDonald's. Fetches out a 10 Rand note. Aware of the momentousness of the occasion. This is, she believes, the first time she's ever given Derek any money. Examines the note, passes it back through her window. 6 Rand 35. She can't think of a reason not to do what he says. Fishes around the ashtray on the dashboard and comes up with the exact amount, largely in small brown coins. He counts it scrupulously. Can I have a receipt? Never mind. Door swings up gently behind Derek, not sticking at all. And in the gloom of the garage, he makes out a figure, sitting on a plastic crate, smoking a roll-up, dressed in green. Len touches the thumb of his smoking hand to his forehead in a salute. Katja nods back. She hasn't spoken to her father for weeks. Spiteful demon tells her to show him Soldier, who is now snoozing on her duvet in the back. She doesn't know which of them would get the bigger fright. Yeah. Her dad is not quite what he was. He really does look like someone who's been through a battle. Soldier managed to do damage to the left shoulder or upper arm, take a chunk of tissue from the calf. Solen's got a limp, too, as well as handsome scars running down, but his bare old arms puff at her on one side, dog the other. Extravagant stigmata he's only too happy to show to strangers. Had to beat the bugger off. Dude. Oh no, I'm being attacked. I have to beat off my enemy now. What with Derek's bandaged limbs, the two of them look more than ever like veterans of some particularly grueling war. But Len is no longer fierce. His last battle has exhausted him, it seems. When Katja looks at him, she sees an old man, far more wounded than she'll ever be. Scars form a kind of barrier between them now, out in the open on the skin, clear for anyone to see. Now Len cranes his head towards her. What you up to, my girl? Just dropping Tobes off. He's come to see you. Good boy. Been working? Yep, swarm. And then species name, Peckypassa capensis. Let's take bets. I'm gonna use my fucking Coke can as a bookmark. Let's take bets. What do we think that species is? Peckypassa capensis. Cape Labbit. Oh, it's a fucking type of moth? That's cool. It's a caterpillar that turns into a moth. That's cute. I like that guy. There you go. I'm sure that's what we were all waiting for. Huh, well. He flicks Ash dismissively. They're easy. But what I'd actually like to know, he peeks at Derek, starting to grin. What, Dad? What I'd really like to know is, big gap-toothed smile now, was it painless? The two old men crack up. Katja rolls her eyes over the cackles. Len seems to find her hilarious these days. Could be worse. She shakes her head at him and drives on. Before she turns the corner, she gives the old soldiers a little serenade on her car horn. Rats in a rat trap, squashed flat. That's cool. The further she drives, the better she feels. She likes to put distance between herself and her father. It's necessary, she thinks, for both of them. It's like a ball of string unraveling, always connected, but lighter the further she goes. She turns left and right down familiar streets, up over the main road, past the hospital, onto the highway. Drives. There's no rush now, no particular place to go, no permanent address. Katja's sleeping in the van these days. Nights are warm. Might seem dangerous in a place like Cape Town, but it's surprisingly easy. In the back of the van, nobody can see her. She parks in quiet suburban side streets. The van has bars, after all. It can be locked from the inside. And who's going to hijack a van with cockroaches painted on it? Especially now, she thinks, with Soldier on board. It's all she really needs. Doesn't need to fill up more space than this. Cleans herself in shopping center bathrooms. Isn't the easiest way to live, but it's also not impossible. At least she doesn't have to deal with the sodding garage door. Sleeping in the van is really not too much of an adjustment. Car smells like home to Katja. Like nighttime, those smells of car leather and petrol must have entered the folds of her child's brain long ago, sleeping in her dad's backy, lullaby of sorts. The van fits her perfectly now, hollow in the seat the shape of her body, nobody else's. She's pushed the seat forward, swiveled a rear view, fucking idiot, rear view, good god, I'm fucking stupid, rear view mirror to exactly the right position. Doesn't even let Toby drive these days, too disruptive. What she's realized is that people like them, like her and Len, they're not homey, they don't have homes, don't really fit in. Whole idea she had of Nineveh, living behind walls that would never crumble, safe within the armed guards' circling lights, dream as grandiose and doomed as Brand's visions. Suburbs are safer, but sometimes she takes a chance at parks further out, where waking up is more of an adventure, somewhere near the sea or with trees. Now she drives up onto Tafelberg Road and stops at one of the viewpoints. It's lonely here at night and a little eerie, what with the memory of those unfortunate goldfish. Dude, I'll come back to that in a minute. We're almost done. And the rock face looming at her back, lit dead silver by the floodlights like a mountain on the moon. But it's a beautiful view, the city spreading down to the harbor, cradled in the arm of Signal Hill, all softening in the evening light, pricked with street lamps, stained further out with puffs of sodium pallor. Directly below the road, she's sometimes seen a group of Rastas washing their clothes in the stream above the fancy houses. Further out, she can make out the castle and the bare patch that used to be District 6. Far to the right, the suburbs begin, and beyond that, the railway yards and warehouses. At this height, no people are visible, except for the constant shuttling of cars along the threads of roads. It might be a city emptied of humans, but she knows they're there. She wonders where Pascal's ended up, patrolling what perimeter, with no dog at his heel. She has a new habit of examining the faces of tall car guards and night watchmen, as she once looked for her dad in the derelict figures of street people. And Reuben, he must be out there too. She guesses he lives in a suburb she barely knows, far from the center. She sees them all tucked into pockets of the city. Mrs. Brand and Nassisi, Len, Zintel, Katja herself, and all the rest. Each one of them in a subtly different Cape Town, waving to each other, meeting occasionally in the places where such cities overlap. Zones where the world is taking form, where things get mixed up and wander from their positions. Ninevehs. Out there, Katja sees many such places, domains of uncertain ownership. Unfinished boulevards, smoky glitter of settlements still to be named, nebulae of black between the lights. Everything's in motion, changed and changing. There's no way to keep the shape of things. One house falls, another rises. Throw a worn brick away and someone downstream will pick it up and lay it next to others in a new course and a new wall. Sooner or later, fall into ruin, giving the spiders a place to anchor their own silken architecture. Even human skin, Katja's read, is porous and infested, every second letting microscopic creatures in and out. Her own body's menageries, short of total sterility, there's no controlling it. What conceit to think that she could capture any of this with her bags and nets and boxes. Painless pest relocations survives, but she's lost her faith in the job. Fruitless work of trying to keep things in their proper places. She climbs into the back of the van, makes sure it's locked up tight, tucks the duvet around herself. Soldier seems to fill a good 2/3 of the space, and she feels the dog's comforting pressure against her side. Gives a long, wheezing sigh. Katja closes her eyes and waits for the tides of the city to drift her away. And that's the end of the book. That was pretty good. Fuck. Yeah, that was pretty good. God damn, man. So what did I think about all of that? Oh my god, the line about the fish, that shit made me laugh because, so earlier on, like, chapter, 3 or 4, she's talking about, the different animals she's moved around and shit, because the whole gimmick is she relocates pests instead of killing them. It's like a TNR type thing, but without neutering the pests, she just fucking takes them and throws them somewhere else. We're gonna take it and push it somewhere else. But, She just does that for like bugs and shit. And the main bug of the book is the metallic longhorn, but we barely even see it until like the 15th chapter, and that, or 14th maybe, and then it's for like a page. But the bugs act kind of like a boogeyman, and oh god, that's like the whole gimmick though is of the plot is like, oh, look at me, I'm bug remover, but it's good, it's good. So what did I think about that overall? It was good. It got a little uncomfortable at points. Like there's like a bunch of weird sexual shit that's inserted that doesn't quite feel like it gets its point across. And like we were bidding about it in class today because we like had to read like 4 or 5 chapters, and one of the chapters is like a main character, Katja, tries to like seduce Mr. Brand, and I read it as like she was trying to get that bag, trying to get that money, and because she's talking to him about like a job offer or some shit, and then she's like, all right. And then when he's like clearly not interested in giving her the job, probably, she just immediately guns for the let's fuck. So like I kind of read that as just I want my money. And but the text gets like weirdly fucking horny, and fuck it, me too, salam alaikum, brother, but like god damn. you know Other than that, though, it was pretty good. I think this is the first thing I've seen that's really gotten the whole. If you've ever lived like in a big city or lived in like suburban, rural area, or like gone between any of them, like if like the area I grew up in and like went to school in and all that shit, it was like it was weird because I went to school like outside of my town because the school district there was like really bad. And there's this thing in America where like if you can like pay to move your kid to a school a couple towns over, and it's pretty fucked up because it's like it's just inherently giving, or it's like by design giving like rich people better education. And looking back, it's like that's pretty fucked because you have like school. There you go. You have like school districts which are like, oh, I live in like in my state. I think I live in District 1 out of I think 8, maybe 9, and you can like there's like a bunch of schools within the district, and then you find the district, and then you go like, oh, you're within this county in this town, so you're gonna go to school here. And like the school that my parents wanted me to go to, and the reason we went there was like my older brother got expelled from the school like right in our town. And our town, it's not like a heavy dense urban population, but it's like 40-50,000 people, so it's like it's kind of towing the line of suburb to urban, where like there's a few big ass buildings and like a decent downtown, but there's like 90% of it is just surrounding suburbs. And growing up in that like mostly suburban environment, and then going to school in like the middle of fucking nowhere, like our school, that was one thing that kind of helped me out with this book. Like the book does a lot of imagery, and that's something I really like. Is it does imagery in a way that isn't so specific that it like fucks up your vision of it. Like it kind of just puts out vague feelers, and you build the image yourself of what it looks like and what like the different areas in the fucking book look like. And because of that, I just kind of pictured like my school was built on a natural wetland, and it was like before it got built, it was like a big debate of whether that land should have been used. It shouldn't have. We have plenty of fucking shitty, empty parking lots that you can fucking turn into a school. There's no reason to tear down some of our rare fucking actual good natural resources Fucking federally, what's it called? Fucking Bureau of Land Management. Those fuckers own that shit before the school did. And it's just fucking ridiculous that like a massive tract of beautiful like fucking native animal homeland just got turned into a fucking school for like little retarded kids like me. And yeah, but I kind of pictured like the surrounding wetlands because like the school I went to, it was like on one side of there was like the small 2-lane road that led out to the school, and then on one side of the road was like one or two houses, but like mostly just like kind of not wetland, but like typical forest. And then on the other side was the school. Uh, there was like the big high school. Then there was like a tiny elementary school building that was pretty fucking small, about the size of like maybe like a 2-story fucking like shitty motel, you know, pretty decently small. And then it was just like fucking true like fucking marsh wetland in every other direction. And I don't know, I kind of pictured like the trees and the swamp and shit of that high school. And I pictured like a lot of the trees there looked like fucked up, like super tall, but also like they had kind of a marshy thing going on, but not really because it was like right on the edge of a marsh. So it was fucked up, man. But I kind of pictured that like weird, almost uncanny valley nature, and I think that kind of gave it. I don't know, in my head, or I don't think this is something that's specific to me, because everyone has like that one area that they know that looks like a specific thing, and I think the way that the writer Henrietta Rose Innes, I don't know. I'm assuming Innes, but the way she set up like she made the imagery like really really vague, but also detailed in the ways that matter. So it's like hitting a few really super detailed points, so that way your brain can just connect the rest of them in a way that works. It's interesting, man. It's cool shit. It's cool shit. Ugh. Um, but yeah, that was pretty cool. And now I'm gonna get into like the plot part of it because that's pretty cool. Nineveh is pretty fucking light on like characters. The only named characters in the entire fucking thing are our main character Katja, her nephew Toby, who for most of the book is like the most important side character. And when he's gone, he's kind of like in the place of person who's there talking to Katja. We have a couple of times she calls her sister Alma, and other times it's with their dad Len. He's kind of the main guy that we're thinking about in this, because Katja is kind of like not like a blank slate, but like kind of wishy-washy on what she's planning to do or what she's thinking. And Len is just this really, really bright, vibrant, fucking crazy personality. And it just makes it a lot like, I don't know, he's like the most attention grabbing character by a fucking wide margin. like we have like serious discussion of her being Katja being like, oh, do I want to live in the city or the suburb? Do I want to live in like a sterile but like sterile suburban almost, it almost read to me like a fucking, what's it called, not a nuclear family, but like a that 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 50s American white picket fence idea, you know? It read like that, where, oh, every neighbor is wearing a smile and la 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 la. But, like, everyone's got, like, fucking death behind their eyes, and we're living in, like, the shadow of a nuclear hell. So, I don't know. It read in a nice way to me. And what else? But that's kind of the whole dichotomy is, like, oh, do I want to live a safe but sterile life? Or do I want to get, like, down in the fucking mud and, like, die at 20? And in the end, she picks the pretty balls to the wall. She goes to the die at 20 option. It's funny as shit though. But I oh god. But I'm gonna keep talking. Just go through the characters real quick. Mention Katja, Toby, Alma, Len. We hear about Katja and Alma's mother, Sylvia, but we never meet her. We never see what she looks like. Really, we see a photo of her, but I mean, we don't really get a description of what she looks like. And that's one of the biggest bombshells in the book is we learn that she's not dead. She actually just abandoned the family, which is pretty fucked. Yeah, that was pretty fucked. There's a few more like side characters and shit, but the only characters who are really there in the plot are Katja, Toby, Len, and then the kind of the weird element in the book, Mr. Brand. He got mentioned there in the last chapter as like on the run, like a fucking Sam Bankman-Fried, whatever the hell type. Yeah, I don't know what to make of him, to be honest, because it's kind of like obvious representations. Like we have Toby is like a young idealist who believes in the best of everything, you know. I get it. Then we have Len is like this old hardened son of a bitch who is down in the mud. He's fucking scrapping copper wires out of the he's stealing the fucking like ceiling tiles. Dude, it's the funniest shit ever. We have like Katja who's like in the middle of it all, and that's like the plot is her deciding where she's going. And then Mr. Brand kind of represents like the sterile side of it. At least that was how I saw it. Like because every time we see him, he's surrounded by characters who are like he's surrounded by his shitty wife, or we don't know that she's shit, but he's like every time he's on screen, it's like he's this weird like he acts the way like it's weird. It all kind of comes back to like that 50s like fake town idea of like nuclear family. Like this is like the fucking the old white guy who thinks he's the boss, you know? And he's surrounded by effectively yes men, people who are paid to keep like a fake smile going on all the time. We also get to see his wife, Mrs. Brand, but she never really does too much. She's just kind of there because when Katja tries to fucking sleep with Brand, she's just kind of there as like a fucking set piece for Katja to look at and be like, damn, I was almost just the home wrecker, huh? God fucking damn it. Can these stupid fucking people in the room next to me stop slamming their fucking door? And now they're silent. I hope they fucking heard me. I fucking hate living in a dorm, man. Because, like, you can see up there, I, like, taped up. Yeah, right there. I taped up the air vent. Air vent? Fucking retard. Air vent, because it's like 30 fucking degrees outside and it's blowing ice cold air. So yeah, I taped the fucking vent up. But because of that, now there's like a vacuum in the room. So whenever anyone does anything on this fucking floor, I can just hear the door going. And I fucking hate this place. Like, it's built like shit. It costs like $500 a month for not even how much room. How large are studio apartments? I is an average studio apartment. I want to find this shit. Average size of new apartments in the U.S. and studios hover around 500 square feet. Okay, lovely. This is the size of a quarter of a fucking studio apartment, and it costs $500 a month. This place is fucking miserable. Like, it costs so much fucking money to live here. It costs $2,000 a semester for. I'm only here like 4 days a week, but I'm not even gonna count that. Like we move in around December 30th or January, like within the first week of January, because you have to be back for like classes and shit. So like January up until like not even May, like 3rd or 4th, most people are out. And if you don't have exams, you can be gone by like January, February, March, April. You can be gone by like April 20th, 15th, even if you really push it with like, fucking, oh, my professor says 3 unexcused absences allowed before fail. I'm going to save them till the end and then just dip, you know. A lot of people do that. I do that shit a lot too. But, yeah, man, but like I remember one time I like wrote it out and did like a day by day timeline, and I realized like I was spending like 500 a month to live here, and I have to because like the options are get a car and commute every day, which is going to be more expensive in gas because I live an hour away, so it's going to be like it would be probably 15 to 20 bucks a day to commute, and if we're adding like oil change, maintenance, any fuck up accidents, anything, it would be like 30 bucks a day to commute, and it's like it's just not worth it. But it's also like I'm stuck with a bunch of shitty options, and I don't want to get an apartment in town because those are all high as shit because they know there's a bunch of college students looking for apartments. Ugh, fuck me, you know. But ugh, God. But what was I saying? What did I think about Nineveh? Well, I liked it. It wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't emotionally pull me in too much. It had a couple of moments that got me like shit. Some of the earlier mentions of Len, where they're talking about like they're setting up kind of the upbringing shit, and they're talking about specific feelings of him, where it's like, him ashing cigarettes on them to kill ticks and doing all kinds of shit to him, and some of those passages kind of like got me a bit, but overall the book didn't hook me too much emotionally. It was just like it was okay, you know. I think if I read this on my own, I would finish it, but I don't think I'd like think about it too deeply like I'm gonna have to for class shit now. Um, One thing this book does really well, that's like the whole kind of plot line of it, or at least that's kind of how I read it, was like there's this whole like modern almost debate, especially in America. I don't know if this is the case in like Europe, Asia, everywhere else but North America. There's this whole like debate between like single family housing, big apartment units like what I'm in right now, and like also like the super rural side of it. And it's kind of a debate because it's like urban sprawl, suburban sprawl is fucking destroying the US. Oh my god. Because there's so much usable land. It's the fucking meme where, like, what is it? It's like 40% of Houston is parking lot. Uh, Austin, I think it's Austin. Austin, Texas, weather? Dude, how do I. Let me show you something real quick. If I go to Google or to Firefox, look at this shit. How do I turn this off? How do I show that, or Firefox suggest? No, don't fucking suggest anything to me. This shit has doxed me before, by the way, because what I do is I keep almost all of my shit like pretty private. Like you could, if you're fucking schizoid, you could figure out who I am from my bookmarks. Like there's a few things up here that are like kind of region specific, like some of these and like some of these, and you get the idea. But it's like, oh god, dude, you can see Disney John Henry from when I was fucking talking to myself. All right, how do I hide my Firefox history? I don't want to see it every time I fucking click to type. Like, oh my god, it's just becoming worse and fucking worse to use Firefox, huh? Fuck you. Austin, Texas parking lot. You'll find the thing. It was, I can't find it, but like, here it is. This is yeah. This is like downtown in one of the largest growing cities in the U.S. And it's like, that's like 20% parking lot. Good fucking god, we need to get rid of cars. Like, that's one of the big things with suburban sprawl is 90% of the world is just turning into a fucking parking lot, and it's just fucking ridiculous, man. But yeah, good god, it's funny. But I feel like this book was the first one I've read that kind of went at that debate, because it talks like the main thing it goes at is not like the specific urban versus suburban, but like it really hints at, like, how do I put it, like the class thing behind it, where most people living in urban areas are either extremely wealthy or like kind of poor to middle class, like lower middle class, and then we have like people living in urban or suburban areas, like, think like the fucking the picket fences of the world type shit. They're like, upper middle class, probably racist, probably didn't vote for Obama type. And then we have like the rural people like Len, fucking hell, even Kacha at the end, and they're lower class. They don't have very much money, but they're like significantly happier. And it's just, I feel like this is the first book I've seen kind of capture the sides of that debate, because no one side of it is really evil. Like, it's not wrong to, not it's not wrong to want a community and be willing to give up like exact sanitary fucking white walls with landlord special. I don't think it's particularly wrong to give that up. And then you have like the middle section where it's like Katja, for most of the book, just wants to live in like a normal ass house and like wants to stay in Nineveh, which is effectively just like white picket hell. And then we have like the very upper crust like Brand, and it's just like living like fucking gods over everyone. Can't even conceive of a world like different from the one they envision, and it's interesting. So now I have to come up with an essay like idea for within the next like week. That's gonna be fucking rough. So the idea that I've kind of been wanting, or like kind of gunning towards throughout like reading, or the idea that's always been kind of in the back of my head, is we had to read in class, we had to read a chunk of Trash Animals, which, hang on, Trash Animals and Why We Love Them. Is this it? Yeah, The Animal Weirdos We Secretly Love, from Rachel Fetterman. Is that it? No. This one. Yeah, Rachel Nagy? Yeah. Can't show my screen because it's got my fucking, shout out Amazon for putting your government shit on everything. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah. This book right here, we had to read like, I don't know if I just wasn't in class when they did this, but I don't remember reading it. I don't remember what the fuck we had to read. Uh, I don't know. But we had to read one of the essays in Trash Animals in class, and I think it'd be interesting to do a reading of the characters from that Trash Animals perspective. Um, because we kind of have Len is the hardline trash animal. He's the little fucking grub digging it. I mean, his last name is both him and Koch's last name is Grubbs, and Alma's too. But oh, I hope you heard that fucking fart. That shit was funny. Um, Damn, that stinks. But like Katja, we know she is like, what am I trying to say? Len is kind of like hard trash animal, He's fucking stinking it up in the woods. He's fucking around. He's doing whatever. And then we have Katja, who's like undecided on what she wants to be. Then we have Alma. I didn't mention her too much, but because she doesn't show up except for like 3 times. Alma, who is like kind of the suburban like middle point of it, where she's almost exited the dichotomy of trash animal versus little white boy. And then we have the peak, which is like above it all. We have Brand, who's like deciding what is and isn't a trash animal, and I think there's some reading that we could get from that. I don't know, and I've got to get it figured out within a week. So, yeah. But I want to. This is the first English class that I've taken for my English minor, and I want to get this shit like. How do I put it? I want to get it figured out. Just like or not figured out, but like I want to do good in this shit because like most of the people in that class are English majors or like something adjacent. Like it's a small class size. It's like 10 people at most, and a lot of people skip. So most days in class, it's like 6 or 7. Fuck you. It's like 6 or 7. It's like 6 to 8 people. Not too many. So I really want to like get my shit up so that way I'm not like the absolute dumb fuck in there. And because I've never taken any of the high level writing courses, the main one at our college is advanced composition, and I'm definitely going to take that at some point because I'll probably take that one next fall or next spring, but probably next fall just so that way I can get the most mileage out of it. But it's like it's so fucking like weird because I took my freshman English courses, which were both like those are both gen ed, so they're like piss easy. They're just like, here's how to write and not sound like a fucking idiot. Oh my fucking god, I hate living here. Then you have like the 200 level literature classes, which are both one of them is a required gen ed, so it was fine. And then the other one was like an elective gen ed, so it was also pretty easy. And it was all good, but it was just like, how do I put it? I'm gonna uncross my legs because they itchy as a motherfucker right now. God, what am I trying to say? Dude, I actually completely lost my train of thought. Holy fuck. Yeah, I do not remember. Yeah, fuck me. I completely forgot what I was going with. Oh, yeah, because the advanced composition, I took the sophomore level literature courses, which were both fine, but I mean they didn't do too much. Like I feel like in the English classes I've mostly just been coasting off of brain power, which is the most loser shit I think I'll ever say in my life. Like I don't mean to suckle my own meat, but like I think I've got decent enough intelligence to kind of get through shit. But when it comes to actually having like pre-existing knowledge and shit like we need for these high level classes. I just don't have it because this is new to me. And I have all the prerequisite classes in on paper, but I don't have most of the knowledge that these guys have in this class. Like, of the people in the class, I think probably about 5 of them are seniors and maybe 3 or 4 of us are juniors. So, we're all older students, but it's like I'm on the younger side, and I also have very little experience with this shit. So, like, today we went over, the teacher, he went over like a thing called close reading, which was an interesting idea that basically just amounted to like annotate the shit out of your paper, or like your whatever you're reading, annotate the fuck out of it. And I get it, but it's like it didn't quite click with me, and I'm really worried about it because I don't know what I don't know. And since I want to be the best at like fucking literary shit as I can be. Oh, that fart was good. But like I'm pretty worried because I have no fucking idea what I'm missing out on. And there's, oh my god, that one fucking stinks. There's like I'm worried that I'll go turn in my essay draft and I'll get a note from the teacher that's just like, hey, literally everything in this is wrong. You have, because it's like next Tuesday is the essay due date, so a week from today, or might be next Thursday, I don't know. And then either next Thursday or next Sunday is like the final draft due date. And it seems to be a pretty short essay. It's only like, I think it's like 4 pages, something like that. I can look. But I mean, it's not about the length. It's just about like do I have that shit? Yeah, okay, so it's due next Tuesday. The draft is due next Tuesday. And yeah, okay. The draft is due next Tuesday. The final is due next Thursday. Okay. Literary criticism, essay prompt. Let's see. Oh, there's a fucking rubric. Here we go. All right, let's see. Organization, argument using critical perspective. That's the one that we've went over in class the most. Close reading / analysis. That's the one I'm fucking scared of. Thesis. All right, let's see. I'm just going to read through the rubric. Thesis, exemplary, and it gives like, it does like the 5 points ranking thing. You get the idea. Let's see. Exemplary. Uses a lens concept to offer a specific, debatable, interesting thesis and offers a new way to think about the text. And then down at inadequate, we have thesis not present, much too obvious, or statement of process instead of claim. Yeah. Then close reading, we have exemplary, careful attention to the text, quotations and convincing analysis of them, consideration of multiple meanings, uses some literary technology. Inadequate, fails to quote the text, fails to analyze text and demonstrate how it creates meaning. Okay, so I think I'm probably going to be low, middle, somewhere in that point category. The thesis, I think once I come up with something, it'll be in the high middle. Let's see. Argument using critical perspective. I'm not going to say exemplary again. I'm just going to max points. All points, you have to persuasive use of evidence, rhetoric, and logic to support thesis, demonstrates strong understanding of critical theory and applies it to the literary text in a sophisticated way, including quotes on theory and field, thinking critically, and explaining how the critical lens creates new ways of thinking about literature. And then in the 0 points end, we have essay largely lacks an argument, focuses on summary, confused logic, not persuasive. Okay, I should be good in this category. I just have to pick a topic and then I can argue it. Let's see. Then max points for organization. Strong topic sentences, uses transitions. Dude, that part was funny. Strong topic sentences, uses transitions and logically organizes body paragraphs around central ideas that support thesis. Graceful and varied wording, grammar, sentence style, correctly introduces quotes and follows MLA. Okay, so this is an MLA. Got it. Bad end, organization hard to follow, sentences need significant revision, unclear language, fails to follow MLA style. Cool. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty fucking cooked. um, yeah. Um, shit. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is Thursday, 2 days from today. I'm just gonna have to. I think what I'll do tomorrow, because I have a shitload of free time tomorrow, is or work up the draft. Cause I forgot I did a draft of everything the other day, but I hadn't finished the book yet. So yeah, yeah, Nineveh essay draft. It's about 2/3 of a page, and I need a page and a half. So yeah, it's not that much more. Um, and also, it's a page and a half. It's fucking nothing. So what I'm gonna have to do for the draft is, he says a minimum of 2 pages, but the actual short essay of 4 to 5 pages. Okay, so it's 4 page. I'm gonna go on the shorter end, just keep it concise because I'm a wordy little fuck, and yeah. Okay, cool. So he sent in like a full blown thingy, so like a full blown like written out rubric. So yeah, that'll be pretty good. I think I'm just gonna have to kind of close read, figure out how to do that. That's gonna be. It actually enrages me to no fucking end living in this shit fucking place. I get that sometimes people are loud. I get it. Like, it's okay. I don't care if it's like once a week, but literally I've been recording for 1 hour, and some fucking retard in that room over there has just slammed the fucking door 10 trillion fucking times, and I'm actually about to lose my shit. I'm about to start like, I'm gonna take my laptop, my phone, my fucking Steam Deck. I'm gonna turn everything to max volume and just start blaring fucking porn. I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna make these people shut the fuck up. I'm a loud fucker. I get it. I'm loud. I have the decibel meter at OBS turned down by like 20 because I'm a loud fucker. I get it. But like, oh my god, just shut the fuck up, you know? Like, I don't know, but ugh. But yeah, I that's kind of all I have for tonight. I think I'm gonna have to kind of let my brain simmer overnight, think about just everything with this, and I'll probably upload some more on the essay shit. I might like upload me talking through the essay when I finish it. I think that'd be fun. Um, Something different and something to give to you guys. Just keep uploads coming, you know. I mean, I'm not committed to like, ooh, I'm gonna upload today. You know, I'm not gonna fucking do that. But like, it'll be nice to just every now and then just drop in with like, hey, here's what I did. You know, because that's kind of what the whole point of this channel is. And it's 10 minutes until the store like right next to this dorm closes, so I'm gonna go pick up my din din. Bye, everyone.